I was watching dust rise off the treads of a Humvee when my satellite phone buzzed. I almost didn't answer. 12 years in, 6 tours deep, and your instincts get dull around things like hope. I figured it was my wife Lena checking in. Maybe telling me our dog chewed up another couch or her car battery died again, mundane things you cling to when war becomes your routine. I answered with a grunt. There was silence first, then her voice, breathy, artificial calm. I'm pregnant. I froze, not because I was surprised. We'd been trying letters back and forth about nursery colors, names, but something in her tone. It's not yours. My hand went cold around the steel phone, my shadow stretched long across the desert dirt. It's my boss's, she said. She didn't flinch. We're getting married. I want a divorce. I stood there surrounded by silence. Miles of wasteland humming with distant gunfire. The line between sanity and detachment frayed quietly. I let her words settle like sand in my boots, then I whispered, "Congratulations." I hung up and made one call. The next morning, I cleaned my weapon with religious precision. It wasn't rage. It was ritual recalibration. Lena's words looped like a distant radio static I couldn't switch off. She didn't cry, didn't beg, just facts like reporting weather, her boss, married, pregnant, no apology, just an exit. But I kept returning to a moment 3 months before deployment. Her hesitation when I kissed her, the missed calls, her new perfume. I thought it was stress. It wasn't. I went back through her old emails, the few she'd sent before things went cold. I remembered the names she casually dropped, one in particular, Michael Trent, CEO of her firm. I remembered how she said he was just intense, but married. I didn't react, didn't scream. I started watching and waiting. You learn patience in the field. Out here, hesitation gets you killed. At home, it gets you betrayed. I sent a request to a friend stationed stateside. Cyber intel, discreet, someone who owed me, phone records, travel logs, surveillance cams near her office, the works. He delivered 3 weeks later. I received an encrypted file, multiple hotel check-ins under her name, one under both hers and Michael Trent, receipts, digital breadcrumbs. The final hit was a prenatal report. She'd signed up for a private clinic under a pseudonym, but it still traced back. Conception date 2 weeks after I deployed. I scheduled a paternity test quietly. She never knew, never suspected I had someone follow her to the appointment. I watched the footage. She laughed with him, held his hand, wore the necklace I gave her on our anniversary. That's when it clicked. She wasn't sorry. She was replaced. I didn't rage. I planned. 32 days later, I returned home. She didn't greet me at the airport. Didn't expect me back until next month. I made sure of that. I let myself into the house with my key. She hadn't changed the locks. Everything looked preserved. Our photos still hung. My clothes still in the drawers. A decoy life. She walked in an hour later, laughing into her phone. She froze when she saw me. Color drained from her face like smoke escaping a window. I handed her an envelope. She didn't take it at first, then slowly, as if it might explode. Inside, copies of the surveillance photos, hotel timestamps, DNA results, her clinic registration under in gray. She opened her mouth to speak, but I just tilted my head. Waited. You had me followed. No anger, just that small shattered sound like porcelain breaking. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. The silence screamed louder. The next day, I met with Michael Trent's board of directors. A confidential dossier, ethics violations, HR complaints tied to those hotel dates, misuse of company funds, the pregnancy, leverage works better when truth is involved. He was removed within the week, disgraced, divorce followed. The house Lena shared with him foreclosed, his assets frozen, lawsuits pending. She called me a month later. I was watching a thunderstorm roll over the ridge. A beer in my hand, not because I wanted it, but because I could. The screen lit up. Lena, I answered. All I heard was sobbing. Then, you didn't have to go this far. I let the silence settle. Let her hear the echo of her own ruin. Then I said, it's just the beginning. I hung up. I burned our wedding album 2 nights later. No fanfare, no ceremony, just ash curling into the night. There's something pure about fire. It doesn't judge, doesn't mourn. It just cleanses. People think revenge is about satisfaction, closure. It's not, it's about truth. And when truth walks in, liars scatter like insects under light. She didn't just break my heart. She declared war, so I returned the favor with silence, with calculation, with precision. I don't dream of her anymore. I don't think of names for children that never were. I sleep easy now because when betrayal visits, it forgets that soldiers don't die quietly. We wait, we plan, and when we strike, we don't miss.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe.